You know what I love? When Congress realizes that they've made a mistake and take action to fix it. I know, it's a rare occurrence, but that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I'm Ben, and you're watching the Minuteman Moment. The Shall Not Be Infringed Act, introduced in the House by Representative Lauren Boebert, is a comprehensive repeal of every Second Amendment infringement passed by the 117th Congress. That's the one before the last election, and then signed by President Biden. This includes gun control contained in the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, or how we like to call it, the Cornyn-Murphy sellout, the Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2022, the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023, the must-pass legislation that's always full of pork and nastiness, and the James M. Inhofe National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2023. So I just gave all of you a list of those boring congressional bill titles. But what exactly is getting repealed? Let's break it down. Now I'm actually gonna ask my editor to put a counter in the top so we can get a total at the end. So we're gonna start off with the Appropriations Act that passed at the end of 2022. Democrats threw everything they wanted into this bill, and not enough Republicans stood up to them. So this nonsense needs to go. Here's a list of the federal gun control that this bill would get rid of. The massive 14.1% ATF budget increase to facilitate Biden's pistol ban. Defunding the $14.4 million ATF's National Tracing Center budget, where ATF maintains its illegal near billion record gun registry. Ending the $700 million funding programs that bribe states to pass red flag gun confiscation laws. Ending the VA medical center's practice of pushing gun confiscation orders on vulnerable veterans. Yup. That's what Congress asked the VA to do in December, but it gets worse. Stopping the Department of Education from pushing unsafe storage of parents' firearms. Ending the funding for VA and HHS to maintain gun storage maps to keep tabs on where veterans keep their guns. Removing the increase of annual compensation for families of deceased ATF agents. Why did the Democrats think ATF agents need more incentive to put their lives on the line in 2023?
Were you expecting us?
Well, it didn't surprise me when I saw a guy in a plate carrier.
Anyways, moving on. Our bill would also end a bunch of anti-gun projects for stuff like orchid healing circles, whatever the heck that is.
I'm blessed to have all of you here with me today. The Healing Circle is a joyful combination of different spiritual practices. The circle then evolves into a point where anybody who practices Reiki, who's a Reiki practitioner, will go around and lay hands on anyone who's sitting in the circle.
Let us know in the comment section below if you think we should be defunding those orchid healing circles or have them live streamed on C-SPAN. Our bill also prevents the CDC from suppressing self-defense statistics and then promoting anti-gun studies. It also stops programs discouraging women for exercising their Second Amendment rights. It defunds anti-gun community violence intervention initiatives, which are totally useless.
There was this man kicking his vehicle, and I turned my head and I saw the block by block officers were crossing. I was literally flabbergasted because they walked right past just like they were just like nothing.
And last but not least, we're protecting you base patriots watching this video by defunding violent anti-government ideology and domestic radicalization research.
Based.
This one's definitely important to all of us gun owners out there, because it prevents the investigation of a citizen or organization who are only being patriotic, like the Revolutionary War, or people that believe the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. I was a little worried about that last one for a while, guys. Next, we're talking about repealing the Cornyn-Murphy gun control sellout. Gun owners didn't get anything, but our rights got taken away with this so-called compromise. So we're not gonna sit back and let it stand. The Shall Not Be Infringed Act also eliminates the slush fund designed to bribe states with federal tax dollars to impose red flag gun confiscation laws. This law funded every state with red flag laws, and even a few that don't have them. I'm looking at you, Arkansas, Arizona, Kansas, Minnesota, West Virginia, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. The bill also reverses the broadened definition of who is a gun seller to increase the number of people requiring FFLs. This became a backdoor way for the Biden administration to impose universal background registration checks, just as GOA predicted.
In the meantime, my executive order directs my Attorney General to take every lawful action possible to move us as close as we can to universal background checks without new legislation.
It also overturns the federally mandated waiting periods on 18 to 20-year-old adults before they can purchase rifles, which GOA is challenging in court. And it eliminates a new prohibited persons category that disarms more people from misdemeanors and encourages domestic violence abusers to force their girlfriends to have an abortion in order to not receive a lifetime gun ban. Seriously, you can't make up how bad this legislation is written sometimes. Speaking of GOA fighting to protect women from violence, that's also why we oppose the gun control in VAWA. While GOA members were successful in demanding some gun control be struck from the original Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act, or VAWA, proposal, the following gun controls were retained and will be repealed by this act: the NICS Denial Notification Act, that launched criminal investigations into firearm transfer background check denials. This is egregious, especially when 9 times out of 10, the system falsely denies a law-abiding citizen and can be a long and complicated process to undo this bureaucratic mistake. And it defunds the ATF's ability to deputize local police to enforce federal gun laws, especially to undermine Second Amendment Protection Act states. And to cap it all off, the NDAA, which we've constantly talked about on this channel, well, because every year anti-gunners love using the military as a guinea pig for all the worst policies you can imagine. The provision, Section 595, which created a program for storing firearms which could be used to justify a nationwide mandatory safe storage program, which will also be repealed by the Shall Not Be Infringed Act. Wow, how many anti-gun laws did we just take down? 19? Well, that's definitely going to get the Everytown people mad and screeching on Twitter. That's all for today, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.